Good morning, everybody. Today is a special day because we have beautiful panels here to talk about an amazing topic that I will say is on everybody's mind. And today's topic is why do men not love their wives? And I have a beautiful panel with me, and it's about to go hot. So I hope you're ready to send in your questions and ask whatever you want to ask us, and have the panels give you an answer back. So I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves. So can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Shola Jordan Nigeria, and I'm ready to
Okay, thank you.
Pastor Tunde in the building. I already know what's happening.
You're welcome.
My name is Lola Aguirre.
Thank you very much.
My name is Balogun.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone.
My name is Samuel Osho.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And you know what? We're just going to get right into it. And let's start. So, why don't men love their wives? So, who wants to go first?
I may likely want to go first.
Okay, give us your opinion.
My opinion, like there are so many reasons why a man may decide not to love his wife. Not just one, not just two. If I start, I can give like about 100 points.
Okay, please give us
No.
three. At least
No, let me just say a few things. Like it's when before a man can say, "Oh, I don't love my wife again," something might have happened. Not just you can't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I don't love my wife again." Okay. It's either the wife disrespect the man or something happened. So a man cannot just say, "Oh, I don't love." So I cannot just say, "I don't love my wife again." Yes.
Hey,
because his wife always treats.
I don't have a wife here.
No, your wife is here. Everybody knows.
The panelist
Now,
today.
let me.
I'm a single man here.
He has always you always been good to her. That's why. Yes. That's why you love her.
Always been good.
You love her. That's
Okay.
why. That's why she's. That's why she's treating you good, and you love her too.
And you have evidence to back that claim up.
I have evidence.
Evidence is always good.
Of course, because he will always mention my wife.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to come in?
For me, it's just it's on both sides. But as an African man, if you look at it, for you to say I'm not in love with this woman, it takes a kind of like different things will have already happened in the relationship, and that's the key issue. And before anybody can just say, "Well, we started good," and it gets to the middle, things happen, and then we both just don't see eye to eye anymore. It's kind of a little bit difficult for both sides. It might already be maybe one person is not trying to forgive the other one of whatever happened in the relationship, and it contributes a lot to where the love will start moving back, because even though you're trying to put yourself like, okay, let me just put myself, let me do the right thing, and the other party is not ready for it. And as a man or as a female, it depends on what you can take, how long you can take it is different from how long I can take it. Sometimes you might take it for longer time and deal with it for longer time, like 3 or 4 months or something like that. I might not even be able to take it in 2 weeks. So in that way, I might already give up in 2 weeks. Like, okay, well, she don't want to do it, or he don't want to do it. Okay, you don't want to, do the forgiveness and let's move on or whatever. So in that situation, things start falling apart, and then you're like, okay, she's still adamant about it, or he's still adamant about it, whatever happens, and you cannot take it anymore. Then you start looking for, what is the next step? And most times, for the man perspective, we start looking for like, what's my next step? What's the next thing that I need to do? She's not cooperating. I need to start moving with my life. I don't know what she wants to do. I don't know her reaction. So I need to have, like a backup thing for myself.
Really?
Yes.
But is that enough? Exactly. But is that enough?
Of course.
It's okay. So if I understand the perspective you're coming from, you're saying if there's an issue and there's lack of forgiveness between both parties. But is that not an issue more of communication rather than saying you don't love the person anymore?
So what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. There's communication. If there is communication and the other party is not willing to work with somebody,
Yes.
communication goes both ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're talking to the
So-
other person not hearing you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but is it what I'm saying is how long should that kind of issue last for you to say, okay, I don't love this person anymore?
Okay.
Because there's no communication, understood. But are we saying, okay, in the space of 3 months, because we haven't communicated so much, I don't love you anymore? Does the love fade that quickly?
Ah, man.
Is it
No.
meant to fade off that
The
quickly?
issue
That's my
about it
question.
is what I meant by time limit is this. Within that time, you already tried different approach. You try different approach. Maybe
Within the
okay.
3 months?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving that as an example. Like we can hold things better than each other. Some can go 2 years and they still trying. Some give up easily. Like, well, hey,
You see, when we're talking about trying to solve, issues and all that, what are the options that that are put in place to address those issues? Like in African setting, we don't invest in counseling. And when you're having problems like this in a relationship, and you have explored all avenues, as you have said, within. And if it's not working, don't you think this is the time to go for professional counseling?
yes, you can go. What I mean by you can go for professional counseling. It is not everything that counseling works for. Sometimes you still go for counseling, you still end up breaking up solution because no solution. The other party might still be adamant about it, is not ready to change, or you as a person, you are not ready to change because it's all about give and take. It's all about okay, this is what's on the table. Okay, meet me in the halfway, or try to understand.
Can I come in? Because you said the word change. I think that's the dilemma that we have as men, especially African men. I'm going to use the word change. See, what we're talking about here, we're not talking about the fact that there are issues in the relationship. There are always issues.
Yeah.
I don't care how holy you are. I don't care how much people you know. I don't care how much you pray. There will be problems. The key thing here is, as far as the men's perspective is concerned, do we see that there's a reason for us to change? And if there's a reason to change, are we willing to change? Regardless of what our parents did years ago, regardless of what we saw growing up, regardless of what people are saying at the bars, at the clubs, at the barbershop.
Change to what?
Change as
Our ways.
far as men. Okay, if I'm married to a woman, okay, the expectations, right? Expectations, and these are basic expectations that come with saying you are with a woman. One, treat her with respect and
Treat each other.
love her,
Love.
okay, and communicate with her, carry her along, whatever you're doing, carry her along. If you've never done that, okay, and you now learn from listening to Pastor Shola in this case, or anybody else, Are you willing as a man to understand that? You know what? This is what I'm doing wrong. I want to go to this person, and I'm willing to do it. It's about
If the woman doesn't, I mean,
It's about what does it
if
have
the
to do
woman
with
is
it?
not willing to change,
What does my change have to do with a woman?
no, it has something to do.
How does he have anything to do with
No.
your change?
You can't just expect the man alone to change. It's expected from both parties. You can't expect the man
Okay,
alone to change
okay,
something.
so
To
let's
me,
give
you
a
know,
scenario.
Yes,
Let's
to me,
give a
it's,
scenario.
it's
everybody
like,
has to change something.
Let's give a scenario. Let's say you have a woman
Yeah.
who does everything you want. You
Yeah,
want freshly cooked meals. She does that.
How?
No, there are men that want freshly cooked meals every day.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you said that
Okay,
a woman
so-
that does everything.
Yeah, she meets
How?
all what you
All
want,
your needs.
right? But you are not giving her any back. She's not a priority to you. You're not taking care of her. You don't give her attention.
No.
Don't you think you need to change?
So you believe a woman can do everything?
She's
I
not
mean,
perfect.
okay,
Nobody-
wait,
don't
but
see.
she's not perfect.
wait.
I'm
She might not do
expecting any
100%, but
perfection
if
from
she-
anyone.
Exactly.
You
Okay.
understand?
Mr.
She
Balogun,
has to change some things. Why I change
Mr.
some things
Balogun,
too?
Mr. Balogun,
For it to work.
she might not do 100%, but if she's doing 70 or even 50,
Yeah, that's good.
that means she has done.
She has tried.
Yeah, she
Exactly.
has tried. So such women, if there are issues at home, and nobody is perfect, just like you have said.
Yes.
You yourself, you have your own shortcomings. As a woman has our own shortcomings. And when we have issues and we put it on the table, you know that you need to change. I need to change.
Of course.
But you need to focus on yourself and do the change.
That's
Then
what I'm saying.
What you say?
It's not only the man.
Mr.
Pastor Shola, I know you're ready to attract me.
to me, it's this.
I'm ready.
From my
No.
own perspective, it's this. Even if
I don't want to attack you.
right, you're ready to change, and when you are changing, and your partner is changing with you, it's just like right now. You go for a counseling. When you go for a counseling, they talk to both of you.
Yes.
And then when you guys get home, you know that, okay, this man, this is his problem. Even though when he's trying, you have to back him up and say, okay, look, you're trying.
Correct.
But you need to do this. You need, be a partnership, be together. If you know what they say, sometimes when you encourage, you both sides got to encourage each other.
Correct.
And say,
Correct. Because what Pastor T was saying was, why did the woman have to change? Both parties have to change something. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
No,
You
to
work
me-
on your
to
own
me-
side, I work on my
So
own
for
side.
me, I think
Right?
that both sides have to work together.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
both
we
sides
don't
have
work
to.
together,
Let me come in the
we're
loop.
not going
Let me
nowhere.
kind of like shake some stuff. Who is the head of it?
The man.
Can you please clap for the man? So if something is wrong with the country, who should we blame?
Yeah.
President.
No. Who should we blame?
Yes.
If something is wrong with the church, who should we blame?
Yes.
If something is wrong with the company, who should we blame?
Yes.
So automatically, if something is wrong with marriage, who should we blame?
And
That's it. Just
Not just
listen,
the man.
Mr.
Not
Balo,
just the
Mr.
man.
Balo, listen.
Not just the man.
Men,
Yes.
especially African men, they want to.
Not all.
yeah.
Not
No.
all.
An African man, you want to.
They are
No,
who they are.
not all. Not
African
all.
man.
They're who they are.
That's the area.
Let me-
That's the area I always disagree with.
Oh.
Let me comment.
It's not all African men.
Both.
Ah.
Pastor Shola is an African man too.
Yeah.
Actually, for that stuff, I actually wanted to rule out. I changed my mind. It's orientation, mindset change. The moment I entered America, I stopped mingling with Nigerians. I had no Nigerian friends whatsoever.
So what happened to our culture?
Now,
What?
there are good part of our culture and there are
Yes.
bad part of our culture.
I just said it before we even
So you
started
think
the
you
show.
think our culture
The
is
thing
bad?
about it is this.
Do you understand?
when we
You
do
understand what I just said?
something-
I said there are bad part of our culture and there are good
So
side of our culture.
we
You need to-
embrace
You need to embrace the good ones and let the bad ones go. You see, the part of ruling over your wife
I
is
understand.
the problem we have.
Hmm.
Now, let me break it down to you. That woman didn't say marry me. You are the one that said marry me.
We marry each other.
Listen, sir. She wasn't the one that knelt down at the mall. She wasn't the one that bought the ring. I believe before buying the ring, sir,
before kneeling down asking the musician to play, for you to ask, will you marry me, sir?
But
You have done your investigation.
kneeling down does it even make sense as an African man? That's some.
No,
That's
it's not.
some of.
I don't want to go.
Those are some of the
I
things that I disagree with.
No, it's not
That
about the
means-
kneeling
that
down. It's
means
about you
that-
asking.
That means
Whatever.
you must have done your investigation. But let me take you back to like in the olden days. Before you get married to a woman, you tell your dad. Your dad will go to their family.
Yeah.
Will look at what kind of disease are they having.
That's true.
What kind of family am I marrying from? Are they related to kings or what?
That's true.
Nowadays, what do we go for? We go for beauty. We go for job.
Well,
Six pack. What is that? Big breast, big behind. At the end of the day, we refuse to go for character.
That's the shape.
We refuse to go for character. You see, character cannot be, you can't hide it.
Mm.
Once in a while, it will come out. During the time you are in your ordinary friends, she slap her friend. 2 days after, she slap her sister. Is that not going to be slapping your body?
Women can pretend.
And you say you want to change that, she can't change.
Women
That's
can
what she.
pretend.
No, let me tell you something. You see, there are broken people, either a man or a woman, doesn't matter. People are broken. Some people, they have been raped before they got married.
That's true.
Some people have been molested. Some people grew up in abusive relationships. They saw their mom being beat up by their mother. They already told themselves, I'm not going to take nothing like this. So when they come into marriage, they're different. You can't marry a woman that you refuse to fix. Majority of you saw the red flag.
That's the thing.
This is about I rest my case.
Okay.
If you want me to go for that, I'll go for that.
No, it's okay.
I have evidence, your evidence here.
For
All this
now,
stuff,
for
I have
now.
evidence.
But for me, sometimes, it is not everything that you see before you get married.
You see
Exactly.
something. You see
Yes,
something.
science.
Not
You see something.
everything that
You see something.
Yeah, you will see something, but there are some things that you will see, you will not see. That will be, will be in the cloud.
The moment you're
Not
confused about
everybody-
something,
No,
the moment you're confused about something that you didn't see, that's a red flag.
Pastor, let me tell you something. Every human being, every man make mistakes. Every woman make mistakes. The thing about it is this: sometimes some men make mistake of picking the wrong woman.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is this: they're looking at these different things, and they will be thinking, "I can fix it when we
I just
do
said
that."
that.
But
And then
that's the problem.
it cannot be fixed.
Cannot.
And female too, they marry a man
Yes.
that they felt like when they get into his
That's
house,
the
they will
problem.
correct him.
Yeah.
Which cannot
Not
be
being
corrected.
corrected.
But you know why I don't sit on women a lot of times? It's because they're just followers. I don't care what the followers do. You know who set the pace? The leader. Everybody on Sunday, Pastor T was preaching. He said, "Who are you following?" Everybody was like, "We're following Pastor T." He now said, "Don't follow me, no. Follow somebody." Now the issue is this. The moment you enter into a relationship, you're supposed to assume the position of as a man, the leader. Now, to make your wife, to actually make your wife be a loving, caring person. You see, people always say, "I'm demanding for respect." You don't demand for respect. You do what attracts respect. And you are now creating a wife. Now, in a relationship, don't forget, before you marry somebody, make sure you fix them. Because a lot of broken people, men, women, broken people. I saw one guy yesterday, I think I was on YouTube. This guy always go and sit underneath the bridge and he'll be laughing at me. And by the time he finished laughing, he will come to the street and I will say, "How are you doing? You look happy. You look happy today." And one lady saw him and said, "Oh, this is a very happy person." And then that guy is cool. So for you to be able to marry such a person, it's possible for you not to know, but there will be signs. Remember, there will be signs. If you are not vigilant enough, if you are not sensitive enough, you're going to get carried away with the breast and the behind. And that's the reason why the Bible says, "Don't have sex for marriage." Your eyes are going to be blocked. You will see so much. So when we now go into marriage, the next step you're supposed to do is you must actually is the first one. You pray. Holy Spirit can never put you in the dark.
Also, that's one of the things that, that's why we brought Mr. Malo discussion. Because you already went to your pastoral house. Look at my God. You went into your pastoral house. what we want to do is we want to still stick, not just do pastor, but we want to hear what the couple man thinks. Because the issue we've had, see my own perspective, if as a man, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, am I willing to grow? This, irrespective of what the woman is doing, am I willing to grow? Willing to grow from where I'm at, my character, the way I think, become a better person. Am I willing to do it? And that's what I put out there. Mr. Balu, you keep calling for me, but the woman was changed. Yeah, the woman was changed.
No, what party?
Yeah.
It can only work when both of you agree to change
you're
something.
telling me for me to change as a man, the woman must want to change.
So you think?
Is that what you're saying?
What you're saying now
Yes, sir.
is only you that need to change.
I need to focus on myself. The woman will change, but I need to.
How are you
If
sure
I-
the woman wants to change?
She will change when she sees my change. Come to the head of the house.
Some people.
I disagree.
So this is it. Some people.
Some
are
women
unteachable.
doesn't want. Some men doesn't
Some
want
people are
to change.
unteachable.
Yes.
Yeah, but you must have seen
But you
that
have
while,
exactly.
Yes.
you know,
Why
while
they-
cutting.
But I
while
think the
cutting.
problem now is a lot of people.
Now
do
you
not
are
pay
now you are
attention.
agreeing with me.
No, I'm not agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm just saying I agree with you. If you want to change, it changes the personal thing. If I decide to change,
Sure.
Yeah.
I will change because
Yeah.
it makes me a better person.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Now, if I change and I notice that the guy I'm with doesn't want to change, then
No,
we
that
cannot.
is going to be a problem.
Exactly. But why do you have to wait for me to change?
That's
For
what I'm
you
saying.
to work on yourself as an individual. Now, outside of me, you are going to relate to other
Other people, exactly.
Or even if I change and you don't change, the problem will
Then
still
that should be
remain.
a sign to you that this person
That's
The problem
will
will
be a
still
problem.
remain.
That's what
That will be it. That's a red
Yeah.
flag. If you change and I don't change,
Yeah.
and you've spoken to me about it and I'm really not to change, then that's already a red
Okay.
flag. That should already say, okay, this person, if I'm in the same house with this person, we'll kill ourselves one day.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's what we're.
It
That's
seems
what
like
we're
it seems
saying.
like we are
See, the science
deviating
and
from
the
the real topic.
Exactly.
Because it seems like we are deviating from the
From
real
what-
topic.
That's
what
why-
that she talked about. We are talking about why men
Don't love their wife.
That means she's already married.
Yes.
She's already living together. So all those things that happen before you get married, we have to leave marriage.
Yeah,
That-
but what we're
and
saying,
what is the solution if you get to, if you get married and then the love fade away? That's what we're supposed to talk about.
yeah,
Okay, you're already married, everything was good in the beginning,
Yes.
and then things
And
start
since
falling
that
out,
changed.
falling apart. And in the
But it
middle of
could
the
also
whole thing.
apply.
So
because-
that's the way I was thinking we're gonna
Yeah, but it could
talk
also
about.
apply.
We're not supposed to talk about before you get married.
Yes.
yeah.
So how
but
you
what
gonna-
for the benefit
mistake
of
already
those that
been
are
made.
not married?
But
Yes.
yes, it's
They
just,
need
it can
to
also apply
know,
because
yeah.
you're married and people change while they're married, and then you
Yeah.
go to counseling just like Pastor Lord
That's
said,
why
and you
I
have to
say
work on
that,
it.
before we even start this stuff, I say sometimes you see some people, they only give you photocopy.
Exactly.
They give you photocopy of themselves. They
Black-
have
black-
This
original.
photocopy,
Black markets.
But
They
let me
have
tell you,
original
one
in their
thing-
pocket.
One thing
So
I want
that's
you
my
to know. One thing I
That
want
goes
you to
for
know
men,
is
and that
whatever,
goes with women too.
whatever
Some
the
men
case
have a
may
photocopy.
be, whatever the case may be, while you are cutting, he or she might not show the 100% of the original. Even that 50%, that photocopy that she's showing you, you must be able to know that no, something is not
But what
right.
about if you guys are already married?
okay, so let's ask this question.
If you're already married,
You're
Yeah,
already married,
yes.
and you've been married for, let's say, 5 years.
Okay.
What do you think is the reason? So a man or a woman wake up and say, I don't love this person.
I said it before. Something leads to something.
And okay, we hear stories.
Men can just they can't just wake up one day and say, oh, somebody that I loved before, I don't love her again. Something might have happened. So not just no when the man is not married.
well, whatever must have happened, we have to be
So
intentional.
if the wife is disrespecting the man, you can't expect him to love the wife.
See,
I don't
whatever.
think so.
Yes.
So what else? because of the audio.
Of course.
Yeah, whatever must have happened
Yeah.
can make the man, to be drawing back from loving the wife. You have to be intentional about fixing,
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting married, it's like a lifetime thing that you guys, were signing. Then, so you can't just wake up one day and be
say,
like,
oh.
I don't think I love this
Exactly.
person
So
again. I want
something
out.
might have happened.
Yeah, so if something happened, we need to be
Try to
intentional
fix it.
about fixing it. So, but if you now fix, you're trying to fix, and and you can't say you are trying to fix for 1 month, 2 months, or even a year, and you're not saying, then you say you wanna. No, you have to, because we are all work in progress. We are, we can get better every day. But as long as we are intentional about getting better, things are going to be, better in that relationship. You can't just say, oh, because because you don't even know the next person that you're going to meet.
Exactly.
You don't know what the characters that person,
Maybe it's from
maybe it's from five. So you as an individual, work on yourself. The woman as an individual, let her work on herself, and let's try and make things
Both
work.
of them have to agree
Now, let me
to
go
work
back
on
to- let me go
to
back
work
to
on
what
themselves,
Baba-
right?
Baba said.
Everyone has to be okay.
Let me go back to what Baba said. They always put their trust in men. The moment you marry them, you want to marry to love. So they trust you 1,000%. Now, if you break that trust, I'm sorry, can't fix it.
Sorry, what?
I am sorry cannot fix the
Okay.
trust.
Problem.
Saying I'm sorry.
I say I'm sorry 25 billion times. They can never fix that betrayal. It will take you to prove it again.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I hope you just said it. And it's not 1 week, not 3 weeks, not 1 year, not 4 years, not even 5 years. It's a continuous improvement. Continuous. Sometimes when the trust is broken, that's when we come in. Where are you? What are you doing? Can you make a video call? Whenever a woman is telling you to make a video call, she don't trust you.
Yeah.
Are you getting bored?
Yeah,
So, you see, when you go for professional counseling, they're going to tell you that this process is going to last for 6 years. That's when you know as a man, you're in trouble. This is not something that 2 weeks can. Buy gift. People, some people, they will offend their wives, and then they go and buy a new Mercedes Benz, thinking
That will solve the problem.
now the greatest of friends in man, that will break the heart of the man, is sleeping with another woman. One of them told us here the other day, if after you cheat and then you are bringing that same penis to come to me, I don't feel like you. Don't touch me. What told us here? Of last show. Don't touch me at all. I said, even if it's 10 years, I said, yes. Now, when you now want to do something, you might people say, now, if your wife should go outside and sleep with another man, and then you say, oh, yeah, you are caught. You just marry that woman.
That'll be difficult.
Mm-hmm. And one thing is that happens a lot, with men, is having a child outside of the marriage. And you want that woman to forgive you. We're talking about having sex. Having sex is, but having a child.
Well, you can still forgive. That's it. You
Yeah,
can
you
still
can
forgive.
still forgive.
You don't stop.
Yes. You can still forgive.
Yeah, you can
You
still
will still-
forgive, but
Yeah.
it's gonna take a lot.
You will still forgive. Things you put to bed.
And you won't do it
That
again.
it's a mistake.
I think I'm in my right state of mind. It's no longer going to happen. Okay, I cancel the man. It's possible for him to watch it. I cancel the man and his wife. know, and I told him, man, I said, this woman that is in Nigeria, are you disconnected? He said, yes. And after a few months, then the one called me and said, Pastor, is it right for my husband to still be paying house rent for the woman that he said he has disconnected? Positive and not talking here. All right. The issue is this: how will you tell me you have disconnected from the woman, but you are still paying house rent for the woman in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Now, when we now talk about forgiveness, that woman is going to be offended over several times, and every offense will take 7 years. Now, let's think about it. The other day, I asked my wife, I said, if I die, would you marry another person? I wasn't joking. It sounds like a joke, right?
Yeah.
I invested my whole life into this woman. I've helped her to do all things. I washed the dishes, I cooked for her, I did everything. And then when I
And
die,
somebody will just come up here.
I think another person will be validating you. I will wake up from my grave.
You can't wake up. You are gone, you are gone. You are gone, you are gone.
But that is the day you will know I will wake up.
She will enjoy her life now. Baba,
So you agree with that?
she has to move on with her life.
And you don't mind somebody else.
You cannot do nothing. You
You
see
don't
anything.
even know.
Whether you like it or not,
Oh,
she will move on.
Okay, so we've gone back and forth about this. Now, let's talk about when the situation happens that the man or the woman falls out of love. How do we fix it? Do you think it's fixable? Do you think it can be fixed?
Again.
Do you think when any of the spouse, the partner, falls out of love, do you think it can be fixed? Do you think it can be rectified?
It's possible.
How?
By trying to fix, try to adjust.
But
well, something must have led to falling out of love.
Mm-hmm.
So if what happened can, for her to have fallen out of love can be,
Fix.
adjusted, fixed, then I think, because, when we're talking about love, you don't just, wake up one day and be like, I'm gone.
I think.
Don't you think people use that word loosely? Because I think a lot of people just think they love somebody than actually, or let's do this question. Is there a difference between I love you and I'm in love with you?
Yes.
Well, what would you say is the difference? Because I think a lot of people, even in marriages, they use it differently.
Yeah.
Even in marriages, they use it loosely. And then you find out that you're married to somebody that you actually are not in love with. So, what would you say is the difference? And how would you even say, okay, I
don't understand.
The issue is this. You see, some people don't understand what lost and love means. You see, you can have a greater side of likeness. Before you can love somebody, you must first of all have interest in that person. The interest will actually go into liking that person. Then the liking will go to 100% and 1% of love will now come. Then when you now get to 100% of love, will now go into falling in love. Then when you fall in love with somebody, you stick to that person. When that person breaks your heart, you actually totally devastated. Yeah, so I can actually say, I love somebody, and if that person offends me, I'll bounce back. But when I fall in love, see, falling in love means that I don't have any support no more. My whole being, my everything is inside of us. That was what I was saying to this woman. If she should say, okay, I'm done, I won't get married. If she should die tomorrow, I'm not going to get married. Yes, I'll just remain, I'll just going to be living past.
No, it's not just marriage.
Start telling you that, you're a man of God. You must marry.
No. Paul didn't get married. And you know what? Let me address this. This is how we get out of topic like this. That's the other issue I have with most people. Once you are not married again, for whatever reason, or your spouse died, as a man of God, there's this pressure like
yes.
And guess what? There's culture. There's not really there's the African culture. There plays a lot of men that are divorced that are still broken. There are a lot of men that are broken. They haven't been healed, and they go outside
Society puts pressure on them. You 51, you 62. Are you going to be by yourself? When you get by yourself, you're going to die. They put that pressure on them, and a broken man goes to marry a woman that is growing, and there's another devastation. And we run in a circle.
But
A man that is divorced, either way, needs time of healing. I'm passionate about this. Needs time of healing. Needs time of self-evaluation. Needs time with God consistently. Needs time of change.
Yeah.
You must be willing to change because it's very unfair to bring another woman on and do the same thing that you did when I was your fault or not. When I was your fault or not, it's still your fault. According to what Pastor I said.
So to me, on what he said, like if somebody's wife died, and then you are saying you're not going to remarry him, and you are the leader of church, why people say you have to, remarry is because
you can do that with God.
because of the temptation
Yes.
will be so high.
Mr. Shaw, when you're married as a man of God, is when temptation is the highest.
Yeah.
Listen, Mr. Shaw, I'm telling you.
Yes,
That's when
when you are not married, you don't see all these as a man. When you are not married, you don't see all these female, and you'll be like, when you are married, you'll be like, okay, now you want to talk to me.
Yes.
Where were you when I wasn't married?
That's what I'm saying. The temptation is
So it's like,
let me tell you, most women,
but
a lot of women want a man that is settled, that has the power of pastor, personality. It's crazy. So usually most men of God, they have this power that women are intoxicated.
yes, that's why they have to remarry. In order for them not to be fornicating all around. Yes, I'm not saying immediately when the spouse left or died or whatever. It's not immediately, but gradually, they want you to for that situation.
You see, you know what? I think it is our culture, that comes in because they believe that a married man is more responsible. So, and if you are holding a post in the church as the leader of that church, they expect you, to be, they assume exactly that you should be married. Whereas, even as you are married as a pastor of the church, some women, they still come to you, wanting to tend to you and all that, for you to fall. Well, our culture wants you to be married as a leader.
I don't think it's only our culture. I think it's just the society, everywhere in the world.
But
most of the everywhere in the world, most of the pastors, if they don't have a wife, they don't really, people will start looking at them
down at them,
down at them, and people will be like, he is vulnerable to go astray.
Yeah, that's it.
It's vulnerable to go astray because what happened is so many, what happened on that area is that if a pastor did not get married, if your pastor is married, let me just put that, the pastor is married, he will be scared about, even though there's always temptation, but there's somebody, which is the wife, like, hey, I see this, I see that. Correcting behind and working behind and saying,
a lot of pastors. It boils down to watching. That doesn't stop.
Yeah, but those ones that you are talking about, the pastor that you are talking about, that really, they are not really, man of, they are not really man of God. They deviate, they are not really well-disciplined man of God. Because sometimes you will see it coming. Yes, you can move away from it because of the position that you are, and then you can do some. I've heard about a pastor that says, okay, I don't do any, if I want to talk to any, by counseling or anything, a female secretary or whatever have to be there because they already tried him so many times, and his door is always open.
Okay.
So in order to avoid all those kind of temptations, because if another female is there, sometimes some pastors will say,
I want my wife to your house. We don't have people come to where you go or go to outreach. We don't have people come when you go to Italy to go preach.
Okay, so I think we ended from there. We ended from the topic for today. So we'll go back to that another. We'll keep it for another day.
Yeah.
But as a question, and someone is asking that now. Back to the topic. Now that the mistake has been made, whatever mistake has been made, and I think you've fallen out of love, you're not married to someone with a bad character. Is there no way forward?
There's a way forward.
I think the person's trying to ask, you're married already, the person has a bad character, you've fallen out of love. Is there no way forward?
Yeah, the way forward is that the person or even the two of them should be willing to make that marriage work, so that that person, will try and correct whatever bad character.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Men don't go for counseling. That's the problem.
There's another question. Someone asked about
a
counseling.
lot of women are willing to work on their homes. The men will say, I know how to take care of my business. I know how to rule my house. They don't know jack. If you don't know leadership, you don't know marriage. We didn't grow. My dad didn't come and say that this is how you treat a woman. Never did. All I did was having girlfriend or girlfriend, and I was treating them badly. I didn't pray for anybody to treat my daughter the way I treated women.
That's
I didn't pray for it.
African way is like that's why we have issues when we grew up.
Yeah.
On my own area, I have brothers, and what they do is like multiple girlfriends.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I see growing up. Okay, they will even tell us, okay, hey, this lady is coming now. Go and stand by the door. If another one coming, my brother is not home, but he got somebody.
Yeah.
So most of the time, it is not for an African person. It is gradually that it's going to fade away. And if care is not taken, you get married. It will be a little bit difficult if your partner is not working with you. And sometimes we as an African, we expect everybody to be like, oh, you have to be this. Sometimes you don't. You have to help. If I'm doing something wrong, you start like it's a routine thing. Even for a child, if a child is doing something wrong, and you look at it like, why is it? Before he does it, oh, hey, you
can't treat the
grown up man like that.
Or you tell. It's the job like this. Sometimes you like, don't let us go there. That person already knows what to mean. Unless they are so timid. Look, if you come in here as an African, you live in the US or you have to change your consonant.
Okay, you just said change.
You have to change a little bit. The thing about it is this: there are some good things here, and there are some bad things.
Yes.
So you have to take the one that is good and add and drop the one that is bad from your own side, because not all our cultures are bad.
No.
Some of our culture, it is even better than
what we do.
So
Everybody's saying no to that.
The average Nigerian man is short of this thing. And 2 years, you can't even solve it. I go to Bible shop, you see kind of thing they say. I'm almost like, immediately I get into my van, I'm like, I praise this word. I start praying. This word can grow seed. If you know the kind of things they say, the blind, if you know the kind of things they say, I should
You see only the African men?
The issue is that if we want a way forward in marriage, for us to fix what is going on, we need to appeal to our men to knock ego down. Then it's not going to pay. You see, one day, is it the time you're going to realize all this yama you're doing? When you become 70 years old. You might not feel it right now. Now you have 2 legs, you're walking around, jumping all around and stuff. When you become 70, I don't know, probably you've seen the picture of a old woman and a old man. And the old woman was the one driving. And he'll come and bring him his cane and walk. Look at Olu Jacobs.
Yeah.
Olu Jacobs is an example that one day your health will not be the same. You need somebody
And for they
to
know
help
the
you
men's health go down.
faster.
Because we go through a lot of stress.
No, because of
Yes.
the
Yes. Children's school fees, the man. House rent, the man.
Okay?
Oh,
You know the problem?
everything.
You know the problem there?
Yes.
If you want to move further,
Yeah.
forward in this stuff,
Yeah.
and actually put a hand to divorce and all this stuff, a man's supposed to accept his wife as part of him.
Of course.
Now, the Bible says 1 will chase 1,000, and 2 will chase 10,000.
10,000.
It means that you yourself alone cannot pay the bills.
Exactly.
The woman doesn't have responsibility. You know what our responsibility is? Your responsibility. What you do is what she must do.
Not
You
one,
baby.
not one of them.
It is your leadership that is messing up.
Not
A
all of them.
woman wants to give you his money, or our money, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Not
But
all-
because of your
not
ego,
all women.
No.
hello,
It's
why did you
depends the
why
way-
did you
Their
marry
money,
such a
their
woman
money
that
is
will
their
leave?
money.
No.
Their money is their money.
Let me come in.
Their money is their money.
If it's only when I get in here to America, into the Western world, that I know that a woman is willing to go 50-50 with you.
Real.
Most African women, especially the one that was not born here, the one that had already stayed in
Their
Africa
money is
for
their
over
money.
20 years,
Huh?
or go, they always have, like our men too, like we men too, they always have the mentality of my men have to take care of me.
Yeah.
It is your job.
And
So most
this
of
one is my wife. This is my wife here. How many accounts do we have?
We have 2 accounts. One joint account.
And then 2 separate ones.
2 separate.
Where is your salary? Where does it go to?
Goes to the joint account.
And that's where my whole money goes to. You have a debit card, I have a debit card.
Yes.
You can spend money, I can spend money. She doesn't have anything outside. You know who said that place? You know who did that? This guy. I am the man of the home. If my house is going to be better, I have to set it up. I have to sit my wife down and explain some funny things to her. Okay? I told Pastor T recently, I did some stuff. I put my wife's name on those things. If she now wake up tomorrow and then only your name, she attacked me one day. Why is your name alone on this stuff? I explain myself.
Pastor,
Yes, sir.
you give your own example.
Yeah.
Not everybody is lucky to have
Like
the same
you.
wife that you have.
Yes.
Sir,
Thank you.
I can marry.
Thank you,
Not
sir.
the
Mr.
same
Sosa,
person
Mr.
that
Sosa,
you have.
Mr. Sosa, I can marry any woman.
Thank you, sir.
Not everybody have that
The same
luxury.
luck.
Because the thing about it is this. What about if you are saying, okay, let's put our money together, and then you're putting the money together, and this other person is just spending I've seen people joining together.
Or make
and-
plan.
think
Or even
it's
make
the
a plan.
foundation.
Thank you,
See,
sir.
it's
Or
the
even make a
foundation.
plan. Or
This
even give
my
the
wife,
other.
Let's go.
She
on.
loves shopping. She loves shopping. She loves to shop all the time. Understand? Understand? I would tell her she's going shopping. I would say, I can go. It is a below. I can go. But now she quite understood that stuff. Now she don't mess with my money.
Can I say something?
No, you know what? I will come back to that. You were saying Magic Girl, all that stuff. Because of the love
She has
and
for
the
you.
respect she has
Yeah,
for
for
you,
you.
that is why she is doing that.
Yes.
Some
You see,
some
women
will
don't
not do
care.
that.
See,
What
see,
do
Some
you-
women don't care.
What took the love? What took the love and the respect away? Because we must dig into it.
let me say this. While we were in Nigeria, this thing started back while we were in Nigeria. While we were in Nigeria, when my husband, I think back then, I think he didn't have a job, but I was serving. I was doing my youth corps. So, and the money I was making
You were spending it.
is what we
Okay.
were,
Actually, you need to do.
But it's not only social media. Several times. I said it. I don't hide stuff.
So
I don't.
the money that I was making is what we were using, to run the family. And after he went to after he came to America, whenever my husband comes home, he will give me all the dollars. Take, I hold the money. And I guess the guy is smart because now I have the money. Everything that this is all we have. So whatever you are spending, it's
Leadership all around here.
Hold on,
Leadership. Leadership. That's what I call leadership. Leadership. That's what it is.
But a leader
made
must
me-
be transparent.
Exactly.
Continue.
It made me to realize that I don't have any skeleton in my pocket. This is all we have financially, and if you like, finish everything. When you finish, that is all we have. Then no money again. So I know that, and my own background, money is not a big deal.
There you go.
Money is meant to be spent. If I have money, I spend it, and when it's done, it's done. So I don't see that, money. No. So when I came to join him, and I know how the thing, is done around there, that you can't just do things by yourself. You have to come together, to do so. And that's what we're doing. And we are reasonable about it. Nobody is doing things outside of
Mr.
our financial capacity.
It's not that all men it's not that they don't want to be transparent. Some men don't have good wife. When they know how much you have in the account, they can even kill you.
Mr. Ambassador today, who should we blame?
How can you blame a man?
Because you didn't look well before you married. Look well before you don't marry anything.
Women are like black market.
I will ask you a question now. You are saying you did not look well. The mistake already been made. So how do we fix
Fix
it?
it.
How do you fix it?
How do you fix it?
Now, I told her something. I actually said it at church. Actually, I left her in Nigeria for 15 years before I realized that I've been messing up. Now, even with my green card, I brought her in. That 15 years, I didn't mean she was here 15 years. She would have become nursing administrator today, or probably an accountant or something today. So the moment she came in, she was old when she came in. So in my head, I felt the guilt. What did I do? I quickly went back to school to study so I can actually cover for the time that she has lost while she's trying to gather and build the momentum. So I decided, let me step in. I feel guilty. This is my fault. It's nobody else's fault. It's me. I shouldn't have listened to those stupid lawyers telling me I should become a citizen before bringing her in. All right? So that was my fault. So I man up. I said, man up. Man up. I gotta do it.
After you finish this
Enter Nana.
see, that money up is the problem I have with us men. And it starts with me. Listen, we cannot expect a different result doing the same crime. Nigerian men are guilty of that.
Those I disagree with.
Well, I'm talking about I'm a Nigerian.
Don't always say
Listen.
Nigerian men.
Those
I will always disagree with you with that. African, we
Let
have
me
our
make
culture.
my point.
Yes.
My point is,
Yes.
we must accept when we mess up and we must be willing to change. Do you agree?
It's
Regardless of a woman.
It's not only African men. Not only African men.
Okay, we are African here. We are African men.
Okay.
Okay, I can come in.
So, no, don't come here. I'm about to answer. So, I actually took it as a responsibility. This is my fault. Let me change it. I'm going to do everything possible to change this. Don't forget, I'm actually going to be changing so that I can make more money. Emotionally, I'm a supporter. So that at the end of the day, she won't feel down. And she won't be less than. She won't feel like, okay, I'm not like my mate. I don't crazy stuff like that. So I'm actually supporting. You know what I did? Sometimes I want to go out and say, no, I'm not going out. I'll stay with you. To give her that support, let's talk together. All right? You know, sir, I did. If my friend should come and say, Pastor, sometimes say, okay, let's go. There's
You must be trying. Please don't ask me to go out with you. No disrespect. Pastor Shala wants support.
No, Pastor Shola, what is your body? What is your body?
It's a legal effort. But let me say, Pastor Shala,
Baba don't go even pick up.
Actually, pick up, but he didn't talk. He didn't say anything. So that I got the message as friends, like, I got the message like, stop inviting me out. I'm going to chill. Because later on, you will not text me. What's the thing?
That's never.
No. You say, that the job feature is and I'm watching movie. I still watching movie by himself with his wife. So me, you don't know how I did my me, man.
You like money, I'm just take care of it.
So as a man, you are the one that's supposed to mentor your. You are the mentor, you are the teacher, you are the leader, but you are not the boss. One thing I want us to remember is that I'm not the boss. The boss is God. Now, I'm only a representative of God in my relationship. So, what will God do in this case? What will He have me do? Am I representing Him well, or am I not representing Him well? Now, for you to fail as a leader, those that don't believe in God, a lot of them are. Everybody, in one way or the other, believe in a superpower. Unbeliever will be going, and then they'll hear a ghost of power. They say, "Oh God, Jesus!"
Somebody said Pastor Sholati grows.
But you're not going.
So you two grow up, man.
So the issue is that now, as a man, you will know that whatever I do, I will account for it on the day of judgment. So you see, one thing that came to my mind was like, I do all kind of in my life. Shall let's start with that one. No, wait. I know you're afraid of this time, but I won't talk too much on it. I know you don't like that. Okay. Now I come to understand one thing. I'm sorry. Listen, you are. Oh, she's good.
I know the go with that.
All right. You know what? And at the end of the day, you finish, you go to regret.
That's true, Baba.
You're going to regret. So you know what I bought myself brain? I said, forget it. This is the best you can ever get in your life. Treat this thing right. Treat this person right. Make it the best of the best for yourself. Stay at home. So if men want to rectify things, go to bed. Temptation will be all around. I go to party, now all the women with big breasts come. Pastor Chela. I carry my bag and come out. I carry my girl and come out. Anytime I see women coming to say, hey, I didn't come out. I've seen it with you. I come out. I didn't come out there.
Because you are their commander. You always support them.
No. That's what they call when you see their parents of evil. Run. I don't steal them. Somebody called me recently and said, Pastor, you are still in news. Yeah. For 2 years. What's that power mine? I don't they go out. I don't walk out around where they rely on me. If you are living in Katie and all the time they're seeing you, yeah, why would they lie on you? I caution myself. I stay in my house. You know what funny thing about me? I'm happier when I'm in my home than when I'm outside. I change my orientation
because the woman makes you happy.
So for a man to actually enjoy a relationship, we do a lot more than what we're doing. Like what Papa said, the woman's supposed to support women. They will support you. They're waiting for you to fail. That's why they always wait. They won't remind you that it's my birthday tomorrow. You say, I will know maybe. Wedding anniversary is next week. They won't tell you. And then the wedding anniversary is supposed to be for all of us, not for you alone. They are snatched it. Why don't you celebrate me if I'm not celebrating you? So I also don't want to go. So they wait for you in the corner. They just want to know, are you thinking about me or not? I didn't know that my wife enjoys me calling her when she's at work. She didn't tell me she loved me. I call sometimes. I'm busy. So she was not talking with her friends here. And they said, oh, love me, Pastor, call me when I'm working.
Really?
Like, really? You know me or you know?
No.
So you know what I now did?
I didn't say I love you.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said you usually call to check on me anytime, wherever.
And you love it.
You love it.
And you love it.
You love it. So me to understand. Yeah, really. So I quickly borrow myself brain and I call her like, hello, how are you? You know, this would be good. I'm not the gift kind of guy. It's not everybody that buys gifts. But I know what to do to be able to compensate for that part. Love language. Yeah. Her whole love language is giving. She can give to you anytime, anything. She'll buy me things, but she'll just bring the shirt and say, what's really for my house? And she'll buy things for you. So I got that. So we men, we must learn the love language of our wives too. Okay? Don't ignore those things. Women will offend you. When they offend you, don't hold on to it.
Just a one-time thing. They get angry. They get annoyed. I was sharing an example between myself and my wife. I was in the kitchen and she came to you see my responsibility. It's not your responsibility. I was laughing, I was saying it because I knew I was lying. But I just want to use shakara and stuff. And that stopped. We yelled at each other for like about maybe like 5 minutes. And then like 5 minutes after, she was like, that is understanding, that's maturity.
Yeah.
We will yell at each other, we will fight sometimes, we will move on right from that. So men supposed to allow all of this, not your ego down. Me, I don't get ego again. I was telling Pastor T, if I go your party, I go where they can come there. If anybody's saying, why what? This is me. I knock ego down totally. I can talk to anybody, I can relate with anybody in my life. I don't do class, no, they pay me. I don't do it. People say, Pastor, are bigger than me.
So if I say class now, you say Nigerian American. Look at our mentality when it comes to Nigerian. Just look at, if we don't have the best name brand, if we don't have this, we're not happy. And that's another topic. Let's stay within the topic of what we say. Do women have to change? The women realize that. They know that. They'll tell you first before you tell them. But what are we saying? In the household, there's something called relation. Remember the woman, the woman is the helper, right? What is she helping you do? Helping you be the best man, helping you do things. And if you're not able to do certain things, and within the duration of time, the woman should step up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't agree with women that run away when they have first their own. There are some women do that. They fold up. If you're having financial issues,
They run away.
And that's good for them. Good for men is what we're really in society.
What will make your wife run away when you have financial issues?
If the pressure is too much, and she has categories of friends that are mocking her and letting her know.
Somebody said
Someone
you
said
can't
voice
hear
is
this
too
part.
deep.
Voice is too deep.
Oh, okay. Maybe this one.
Talk softly.
Remove the bass out of
Remove
your
the
voice.
bass and talk softly.
Remove the bass out of your voice.
Voice is too deep.
Sorry.
Voice is too deep. Okay, so there's a question here, and I hope the person can clarify what you asking. But the question is, what is African culture that we keep talking about?
Yeah, no, that's
What's
it.
the African culture?
The
African culture. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, the two of them.
Yeah.
No, the two of them.
No,
But don't worry.
we have culture.
The African
Is it-
culture.
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay, the African culture is like what we learn from our parents
Yes.
and what they teach us. And most of the time, if you go back to Nigeria right now, when I go back to Nigeria, I correct, I still have some brothers and sisters there. Sometimes the way they talk to their wife or whatever, I call them to the side and say, hey,
Don't talk to
you
your
know,
wife.
yeah. So because of the enlightenment that I've seen in America, and there's some things that I already changed, my exposure and everything, because I have a cousin, he makes money and everything. He never took his family to a vacation or something. Their first vacation, I made it happen. Because I just see the children, they are not, he took them out. He took them out. He took them out to what's that? ShopRite. ShopRite. And you know what's so funny about it? After I already made, I said, man, God, you need to take these kids out and everything. Before the children, when they told them we're going to ShopRite, they will go and get them dressed, the best outfit and everything. The day that he took them to Dubai and go and they'll have a, he said, it's a cousin. I said, what's going on? Yeah. That was I left. When I tell these kids we want to go to ShopRite, they're like, what is ShopRite? Yeah. So another thing about let me go back to the culture. The culture thing is all about what we see, what our parents, what they instill in us. like, okay, this is how it goes.
The way
and then we
This
do
is
things.
this is how a man
Yes.
should
Rules,
rule the
this
house.
is
But
how-
it's
and
supposed
this
to
is-
evolve.
Even sometimes we have seen it, and even
Yeah, sure.
before I come down to America, I've seen where different people, they are saying like, I'm not going to make this mistake. Even in Nigeria, I've seen people where every day this man is an army man. I live in a face me, I face your house. Even though my parents are the one that built the house, but hey, we're the landlord's kids. But our tenants, I've seen them. This man will always be right, and all those things. But our tradition, there are some of our tradition that is right, and there are some of our tradition that we have to take and do away with. So on tradition thing, it's different. Some of us are so into it that when they come down here and they see another different little different thing, like he said, like the pastor said, even myself, I always tell if anybody comes, if I know you are just coming into America and then they introduce you to me and say you're a new person, the first thing I tell you is like, don't stick with your tribe.
Unplug your.
Go out with other tribes. Like myself, I go out with so many Black Americans. I learn from them. I change. There's some things that I learn from them, and there's some things that I don't appreciate from them. This thing. So don't stick. Some people they only stick with Nigerians alone. Now that everything is just you cannot learn like that because everywhere you go to, there's a good side and there's a bad side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it's only when you let the culture overwhelm you, and then you don't really want to change. That is the time problems start. And sometimes,
another culture I want us to talk about is the culture that a man should not cook. A man is not supposed to clean. A man is not supposed to wash the dishes. That's no man's thing.
okay, I'll come in there. Even in Nigeria, there are some houses that they don't teach the male child how to cook. How to it depends. It depends on where you come from, the family that you come from. That's the problem right there. Some families they only focus on their girls to be cooking, and they don't really teach the male part of it, their own male child to do things. So when they come over here, they don't know anything about cooking and everything.
This is 2022. 2022. All parents in Nigeria, anywhere in the world, are supposed to know by now. It's not the responsibility of a woman to cook. It is responsibility of both of us.
Well, Pastor Jola, but not even look. If the what you are saying is right, but how many of the population still have that back home? The thing about it is this: it's only the one that is educated and that are exposed that will put that exposure into their family, into their children, into their to their children.
And that's what we do during pre-marital counseling. During the pre-marital counseling, we ask these questions. I tell people you can't marry this person. I tell people no, you can't marry this guy. To marry this guy is not a disaster. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, so it's better for you to go for pre-marital counseling before marriage, so that the counselor will ask the right questions. So if a man is only believing that he's actually supposed to be a bill payer, he won't survive in America because you alone cannot pay the bills. Unless you're making $1 billion every month. So we all need to come on the same table and understand that okay, the society where we are going to be living requires that the woman will work, the man will work. So if I'm working and you are working, so whose responsibility is it to clean the house, to take care of the kids, and to cook? Then it's our responsibility. That's my point there, sir.
Yeah, but let me come in on that. The thing about it is just that sometimes when you have a male and a female, that already do not have counseling. And the view of what they are looking at, maybe the female just want somebody that's, that can make money and that can, do pay bills and all that. She did not focus on the behavior of the man. And when she got into the marriage, the behavior started coming out. Now she cannot live with it for the rest of her life. And the same thing with a man. So how do you fix that kind of mistake that's already been made? Because you say now that you told when you counsel people and you say, hey, I don't think this is going to work. But what we are saying is this. You say most of the time it's only our children with the age level that we're in here. It's only our children that now, as an African, that will know that, okay, they will go for counseling and all that kind of stuff. But our age level right now, we don't believe in, most of us don't believe it. And that's where we're having problems.
Thank you for identifying that problem.
In our marriages.
Yes.
So, because sometimes some of us are not even supposed to be together.
Okay.
And now we're already been together.
Yes.
Have kids. So have kids. Mistake already been made.
Yes.
So now, sometimes it cannot be fixed.
It can be.
Sometimes it can be fixed.
It can be managed.
Because
we can manage a broken relationship.
Yeah, but Pastor, the thing about it is this. Sometimes it is not from our mentality of being an African. Most African, if the mistake already been made from the beginning,
yes,
it is very, very hard to, because we have one thing, like you said, it will take God's grace for that person. If the leader of the house will have to be like, okay, I'm going to take all the responsibility. But while you are taking the responsibility, she is supposed to be, she's part of the mistake too.
Yeah.
So what about if she's not willing to work with you? Sometimes
you have mentioned too many things that we need to respond to. Too many things. When you're talking about counseling an elderly person about cooking and cleaning, I really don't believe they are not supposed to change. What is the big deal about cleaning? What is the big deal about washing dishes? What's the big deal about learning on YouTube how to cook jollof rice? I don't see a big deal in it. Even if you are 70 years old, I'm a man. This man is 80 years old. He's cooking his own meal. He didn't start cooking from his home in Nigeria. He was able to learn it here on YouTube. It's about knowledge. Knowledge is not limited. You see, you have to continue to be in school 24/7 until you die. So I always tell people who are 45, 50, 60, when they come for counseling, sir, there's no problem in this stuff. All you got to do is put your mind to it. Look at your wife and say, this woman is doing too much. What can I do to help her out? Even if you put the dishes inside of the dishwasher, you're still washing the dishes. All right? Even if you just run the vacuum cleaner on the floor, that's still cleaning. Even if you just help the children pick their toys, that's still cleaning. Just to give that woman a little slack. Because at night, when you want sex, the woman will say no. And then when they come to me, I will tell you no too. You can't kill this woman by not helping her out. You understand? That's the first thing. That's the first point you made right there and stuff. But the second point that you made was like, okay, when we go to in Africa, they don't normally focus on the boys, and they focus on the ladies. Teach them to cook Leopold and Lloyd. That was like 25 years ago. That was like 25 years ago. Anybody at this time, 2022, that is still focusing on a female to cook, that person is dead. Because now women are well empowered right now. They go to school, they become doctors, they become presidents, they become all kinds of stuff. Everybody now is independent. Two independent people coming to live together, I'm not your slave. All right? We are actually in this relationship. I don't believe in 50-50 relationship. I believe in 100% both ways. Your 100% and my 100% makes marriage.
Yeah.
The moment you're saying 50%, you are asking, where is the other 50% going? Trash. So it's not supposed to be. They're 100% supposed to be inside. You're 100% supposed to be inside. So when you're not talking about, okay, let's use an example. I'm the one who cheated. How did she contribute to my cheating? Because she didn't give me sex. Maybe. How many months? For 3 months. After 3 months. 3 months. No sex. What caused it? Oh, well, I didn't help her. She got tired and she's sick. What is that? It's not. Now, the issue is this. There cannot be smoke without fire. Mm-hmm. Women need to sit our wives down and ask them, sweetheart, what is the problem? I always mention this on my show. I study my wife a lot. Sometimes she wake up in the morning and she'll be like, da, 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 da. Sometimes she wake up and she'll be going. Whenever she wake up and she's going like this, I pack all my load and go to the other room. Understand? So we need to study them. Study them. And the other day I said something about menstrual period. When they're in their menstrual cycle, you don't want to put things on them and say, come and cook, come and clean. No. At that point in time, they're going through something in their body that makes them cranky. That's your time that you're supposed to make Wali. You go to a buy pepper soup, bring it and say, sweetheart, this is for you, eat it all, and then every day she'll be happy, she'll just go to sleep. You know it's 3 days, you know it's 5 days. Stay clear. When you mess up during that 5 days, it takes 5 years. 5 years to clear it. So you have to understand.
But why? Why 5 years?
Because
they should learn how to forgive easily.
Because
they should learn how to forgive easily.
Okay, can you forgive a woman who cheats on you?
Exactly.
No,
Can
that's
you
You should learn to forgive.
that's
you
the
You should learn to forgive. That's what we're talking about. You see, we're all supposed to understand each other.
I can comment into that. The thing about it is this: sometimes, unless you are kind of like not, if you leave a woman,
yes.
If you leave a woman in Nigeria,
yeah.
And first year, second year, third year, things happen,
yeah.
And you know that that's your fault because you left her for a long period of time.
Yes.
And if temptation comes and she did something,
temptation?
And she did something, I'm looking at it from my own perspective.
You will forgive her.
Yes. Because you know why? Because I looked at it like this.
That's a man.
I look at it like this.
But no,
okay. You left. You got to look at it. What about yourself? What about yourself? What about yourself? If you were left for that long, are you going to, if the temptation gets you to
Which temptation?
So, but the thing is this: once if she did it,
yeah.
As a man, you have to take some responsibility.
There you go.
About leaving her to do that.
Not about
the thing about it is this: if she cheat and then you knows about it, she confessed and said, yes, I did it. Yes, sir. Okay, are you doing it now? No, I'm not doing it now. And then you take to my parking point and take your thing out of there, because if you leave that, if you still love that woman, you need to take that woman away from that area of temptation and be with you. But the only way that is going to be difficult for my own side is when you are in my house and then we are living together and she went out to go and have extramarital affairs. Yes, part of it might still be your fault as a man, but the thing about it is this: before it gets to that, to me, I welcome when you tell me the truth. For me, I welcome when you tell me the truth and say, hey, look, I don't think this is going to work again. I will respect that. And I will say, okay, what do you want to do? If she says, oh, I don't think it can be fixed, I want to walk away, I will respect it because you don't want to hurt my feelings. But you doing it while we're still married and we are living together in the same distance, that is where it's going to be hard to forgive. But if it is something that you get to where you told me, okay, look, I'm not into this again, and
just let me,
You know what?
We can,
Baba, I disagree with you.
okay.
In the area of cheating, instead of her to cheat on me, let her divorce me. If she cheat, if your wife can cheat on you,
Okay,
then the love is no more there.
let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If the table turns around, if she's really one,
Yeah.
What would
You
you
know
do?
what
What
do you
you
expect the
want her to
woman
do?
to do?
No. Don't
No.
let us go to that side.
how can
No,
we not
see.
go to that?
Let me explain.
No, that's not
We
fair.
got to be
No,
fair.
I can explain.
Okay.
I can explain.
Go ahead.
I can explain.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I can explain. Let me explain this. No.
Do you have any pastor that knows?
But no, let me explain. Let me explain.
Go ahead, sir.
We've heard that men, some African men have like 2-3 wives. You understand? But, no, I've not seen any African woman that has 2 or 3 husbands. That's a prostitute. Yes.
Oh, so it's okay for a man to have 2-3 wives, but it's not okay for a woman to do the same.
Where do you hear that?
It happens in some African countries. Yes,
Where?
there's a case of a woman that has up to 3 husbands.
Yeah, I think I read
Yes,
it.
Yeah.
there's a case of a woman that has
I've read
3
it too.
husbands.
Okay, not
And they all
not,
live
not in
together.
Nigeria, yeah.
Not
Even
Not in
there
Nigeria.
are men here in the States that have they call them sister wives. They have a
Yes,
show.
yeah.
They have up to
Utah.
They have, I think he has 5 wives, and they all have.
Yes.
He bought their houses in like a cul-de-sac, so they all live in the same area.
How many wives?
5.
So how many women did you know that have?
There are women in Africa that have more than one husband.
Oh, don't let us go to that area.
But you've not answered the question. No, but you've not answered the question. The
No,
question.
don't let us go to that area.
You've not answered the question.
If a woman,
Somebody say you should answer the question.
excuse me. Let me explain to you. If a woman can allow another man to have sex with her, the love is no more there.
But a man
Okay,
can
but a man
have
can
sex
say
with
that's
another
another woman.
woman.
Do you believe? I want to ask a question. Do you believe a man can still cheat and still love his wife?
Hey, do you believe a woman
woman
can
can
still
cheat
cheat and
and
still
still
love
No,
her?
it's not possible.
Okay, then it's not possible. Then
I will come up
It's
a
not
little
possible.
bit on this difference a little bit. If you look at the American culture, even the Western countries, where the West, not only in America, even in Europe, that they say one wife,
One woman.
one woman,
One man.
one man, one wife. A lot of it is a lie. A lot of it is a lie. Put an average American man out there. I can tell you that 70% of them have concubines outside. I've seen, especially the rich ones, they have, mistresses
Yes,
that they even buy high-rise
Houses.
apartments.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to that Galleria, go to River Oaks, most of the ladies that you see in those high-rises
Men, but they
are mistresses. And that's how they have all these things that the white person is saying that, okay, one by one is just on the paper thing.
Right.
A lot of them do the same thing as an African man. But they are not just doing it the way we are putting them openly, where we put them, into the house. No, we're under the same roof. They do it, you will see. After they already, the same thing that our men do in Africa, you will see them that they will see when they die, they will say, they got a child somewhere. Like some of our people showed, they will bring kids. After the death of the man, the kids start coming out.
Now, we believe in all that. You see, things do happen. I didn't know. Should they happen? What we want to build our lives upon is that we want to actually build men who are actually ideal, men who are loyal, men who are faithful. We're not supposed to say because somebody did it, and it's right.
Yes, it's
You
not.
know what I'm saying? All right.
Right.
So what I want you guys
What
to
I'm
agree
saying,
with me,
what I'm
what
saying
do
is
you
that what I'm saying on that issue is that
yes,
it is we don't really have to say, okay, because of one man, one wife here, they are perfect. They are not.
No, we're not saying that. You see, what we're saying is that this is well, because we're going to be going for that so that.
But loyalty has so many.
No,
the way we can
the issue is
talk about loyalty.
The issue is, you see, if we all agree that the man's responsibility is actually gigantic, it's a lot. When you read the Bible says, man or husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. It's too much for us to bear. Every day we try. Every day we try to do it the way God wants us to do it. And to do that stuff, you have to sacrifice yourself. You know what the Bible says? That he gave his life unto the church. That means we have to give our lives unto our wives.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what, you see, as a point in your Bible and say, I'm just living my life. It's possible for me to be saying all this stuff. But I've gone through the Bible, I understand what the Bible is saying about loving my wife. And it's a kind of a sacrificial thing. That even though you see other, you see, like me, I get love letters every day. But when I get love letters every day, I just smile. I like myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I take my mind off of it. Because now I understand that God is expecting me to love my wife the way he loved the church. Even though the church wasn't perfect. But he loved us anyway. And the Bible says, when we were yet sinners, died for us. So your wife can never be perfect. She becomes perfect through you. As a man. She'll become perfect.
But men are not perfect too.
Then you become perfect through Christ. Then bring it down to you. Now, God created man to meet his needs. Not women. He said, come, let us make man. So he can dwell in his garden. So when he created man, man was actually servicing God. Until one day, God now looked at the man and said, the man is alone. Let us make unto him a help meet. Now the woman, now God created for the man. Are we getting it? For the man. So you are responsible to God. She is responsible to. Now don't forget, in First Peter, the way you treat your wife is the way God will treat your husbands.
What about if you don't have a wife?
I'm not talking about that. You can't be dancing. You can't be dancing. You can't be dancing all around the moment you're married,
yes.
The moment you're married, the way you treat your wife is the way God will treat your prayer points. And it's so huge. Now, majority of women, we always forget one thing. Their own will definitely come. You need the support.
Sure.
You can't just find, you see, at the age of 70, you marry a 14 or 15, 20-year-old girl. She's only coming for your money. She's not coming because she connects with you. That's why a lot of people, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump will always run to his ex-wife for advice. The woman that does that.
Yeah.
She said it already.
Yeah.
That every week Donald Trump will call him. Should I tweet?
Should I tweet?
I tweet. And then she'll be like, tweet. Why is Donald Trump not connecting to Malamanani and whatever? That girl is just from nowhere, just connecting to a rich guy. The first wife was the one that gave birth to those 3 kids. Alright? So always bamba. Then I know another couple, a Nigerian couple, the ex-wife, the man will always call his ex-wife and say, see what this new wife is doing. Oh, I don't appreciate you. The ex-wife will now be teaching him how to be patient.
So why is the ex his ex?
Because of many things. Maybe they are not many. There are some people that are just ordinary because they should just be friends.
Ex should be ex.
So they should just be friends.
That's it.
That's what they're asking.
Because
That's what I'm talking now. That's what I'm talking now. I got the question now. That's what I'm talking. You see, they still go back to the ex because those ones they started from the scratch. They know each other when they were nothing. It was more of a very solid connection. The moment they now say, okay, I'm fighting divorce, they will always now remember the good old days. And then they always want to take it back. But sometimes it's not easy to take it back. Sometimes the woman has moved up too. Some women will still remain single, and the man will still have access to them to call them to talk to them. Another man, whenever he's actually angry at the house, will go to his ex-wife's house. The ex-wife will cook for him, give him everything. He will sleep down there. Then the next day we'll go back to his house. So
is that right?
It's right. It's the right thing to do. But that's what I'm telling you. That's why you should keep that woman of your youth. Because you will grow up together, you know each other. You see, let me tell you something. Marriage is not marriage if you don't have endurance. Because you always step on each other's toes. Develop that thick skin. Develop it. There is no marriage that cannot work. Put God in the foundation. Forgive each other. When we now come to the woman, women are supposed to forgive very fast, right? But they're supposed to have a limit. No, listen. They're supposed to have a limit. You committed a crime yesterday by going outside to go and drink with your friends. You slept with a woman. Then the next day after saying I'm sorry, you say, you're still doing the same thing. You see, Lekule is supposed to be a no-go area in the next 1 year.
Why?
Because you want to help her to develop that trust again. So stay where she could see you. Stay where she could see you.
So when you're married, you are not supposed to have any friend.
You're supposed
No, it's not that.
get this straight.
You're
I want
supposed
to
to have friends, but
understand.
if it's a friend that is influencing you negatively, that is causing problem in your home, you don't want to hang out with that friend
Listen, sir.
because it always cause problems.
You're coming from the office. You close at work at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Where should you go? Home to your wife and kid.
Yes.
Some men, when they leave 5 o'clock, then they go to Pastor Tunde's house.
There's reason for that, Pastor.
What is the reason?
If the house is hot,
What makes the house? Why is the house hot?
yeah, one of it.
What made the woman now to be the problem? What's causing the problem? Because she refused to take your shit. You understand? The reason is that now when you are giving a woman bad life, bad everything, now you're actually expecting her to not feel good about the stuff. She won't feel good. All right? It is what you pump into her that we should pump out at you. Don't forget, a woman is a taker. They receive and then they breed on it. And then it becomes bigger. So when they give it back to you, you think that overdoing it.
Let me come in. Also, let me say, very clear. If you're a man, and I'm almost African, but it's always
Pastor Shola don't always say African. Don't say man. General. African. Don't say African. Yes.
if you're a man,
Yes.
and you're not willing to grow, evolve, take the change, leave the women alone. You don't deserve to take, or you don't take him out of you. Because what you're doing is you're bringing another woman in to mess her up. You're bringing another woman in to mess her up. So if you're not willing to deal with yourself, shame and accept that you missed and you want to go, don't bring. And that's why I'm different with the pastor about because emotionalize the relationship expanded. For me, if you're a broken man and you know it's very fair, don't want to start dating. Don't think the woman is supposed to give you sex. And you're not willing to grow and treat her right. Especially if you messed up. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we don't do mistakes. There are some men that do mistakes. But are you willing to grow? Are you willing to change? If you're willing to do it, then after a while, if you got yourself together, you can start dating.
And one of the things, if you there will always be problems with women.
Yes.
There will always be problems with women. So when you have problem with the woman and you're not willing to, address that issue, even if you leave that woman, any other woman you're going to have again, you still have problems with them. So it's better for you to, sit down, talk about it, and trash it out. Otherwise, you always be having problems with women.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, I will know that we'll always be having problems with women. But the thing about it is this: it is not everything. It is not every. Sometimes some people will move away from the marriage, and they will be better off.
Yes.
On the other end, there's some, not every time that you move out from this and then because unless you're crazy, every man knows that when you move from one marriage to another, you will have obstacles. And for you to be in a relationship, sometimes when this doesn't work, before you move to another one, even you have a divorce, things happen, divorce and everything, you will learn from your mistakes. And then the new person that you are going to get, you're going to get somebody that you know that will be
compatible with you. You know the mistake that you make from here. And then now, when you move out, you get the mistake that you make in the first place here, you rectify it. And then now, it is not going to be like the first issue that you had.
But if you know we need to change, you can't rectify.
Yes.
You know we need to change.
Yeah, you have to change. Sometimes, like the pastor said, Pastor Shola said, the issue about it is sometimes you see some people when they come for counseling, you already knew they are not compatible. And then when they are not compatible anyway, they go ahead and go along with it anyway. And then issues start coming up. And you yourself, you know, as a counselor, you know it's not going to, no amount of work that you can do on this is not going to work. So if that happens, that means they have the two got to break. They got to go.
Okay. So
in other words, so in that way, they can, when they break, they can rectify each other's mistakes, and they will be happy being apart and move on with their life.
all right. So it's been a great session.
We
gone back and forth. Yes.
Oh,
We've been going back and forth. It's been heated, and honestly, at this point, I'm like, oh my god. Okay. But I have one final question.
I'm not getting married.
At this point, we'll bring the guy and we'll just sit down here and be like, yeah, let's start asking all the questions. And he's here. So we'll do it.
Bring the guys to sit.
I mean, is that not bad?
Hot seat.
Hot seat, exactly. That way, he will bring out his true character so we can talk. But anyway, one final question.
Yeah.
And this is for you, Mr. Shola. If we've talked about everything, now if counseling, prayer, talking to family, talking to professional, everything doesn't work.
What was the next thing?
What's the next? Yes, what's the advice? What's the next thing?
Thank you. I call it feeling all righteousness. Feeling all righteousness means that we have tried everything possible. And it seems that it's not going to work. Majority of the time, people don't believe in divorce. Divorce is actually a lifesaver. It saves your life. Actually, killing somebody or being killed is a issue. Sometimes you might not die physically, you have mental issues, or you actually don't have to do with mental institution. And that will actually totally kill you. You won't be nobody. So if you are faced with marital situation and trying to get better, and it seems like the partner is not understanding, the wife is not understanding, the husband is not understanding, we go for counseling, we are prayed, we are fasted, and it seems like it's not working. And the next thing we always want to advise is let's have separation. They activate separation. Separation is not divorce. Separation means go and live somewhere else and let them live somewhere else. And during that time, they're living separately. They will actually put them in different classes to teach them what marriage is all about, what leadership is all about, how to enjoy each other, how to care, how to work. And then when they're coming together, we send them on vacation. Probably in Cancun, probably in Mexico, somewhere. And then they go and they sit down, they talk, they do practical work they have taught them in class, and all kinds of stuff. So when they come back, they will now tell us, I think we are good to go. Or they come back and say, I really don't think it can work. So when we get that, we don't think it can work, then we now start the divorce process. Gradually. And then we start thinking about the children, because whatever you do will affect the kids also. So some couples will say, oh, Pastor, what we do is that we just be roommates, housemates. We're going to get divorced. The kids are not going to go. The kids are not going to go. I will still live in the house. I'll live in the basement. Or I'll live in the other room. Let her live in the room. Then we still go to church together. Just to fool the church members. So the church members won't know it also. So we just keep on going. I won't bring any woman to my house. She won't bring any man to the house. Stop. So if I want to meet my girlfriends, I'll meet them outside. You want to meet your girlfriend, you meet them outside. Sometimes it's actually dangerous. Because sometimes you're going to get so angry. And the anger may result into you killing the other person. You can put poison inside of the coke inside the fridge. Or you can put poison in his food. So we don't really want to accept that. It's either you get divorced and move on, or you stay together and work on your relationship. But me saying all this, there are still so many Nigerians, Africans generally, they live inside of the same house They don't have divorce licenses, but they are spiritually disconnected, emotionally disconnected. The last time they had sex was about 3-4 years ago, but they live in the same house just to fool the society because of what we will say matters. Say, a divorce after all this, so we don't want it to look like that. So they still stay together in the same house, and they call it open relationship. Open relationship as in like live your life and live mine. So once in a while, if it's a matter of you wanted to have sex, you can still come. If not, you can stay with yourself. So women will always resort into buying dildos, vibrators and stuff, and the men will have side chicks all around the place. And then we still come to church. And that's more like we're fooling God. All right. So for me, I always tell my clients, if this is not going to work, I will take you through the divorce class. I'll get you prepared for what you need to prepare for. Lonely time. The time that you have to spend the money yourself. The time you have to put the generator yourself. The time you have to cook for yourself. The time that you go to your friends and your friends are married. And you will sit down by yourself, nobody knows what you feel, the emotional stuff that you're going to go through. All right? The mental stuff they're going to go through. I'll get them ready for all of this stuff. And I'm going to get them ready for the mockery. I'll follow it in church. They used to give you opportunity to preach before. And then suddenly they are no longer putting you there. And then everybody in the church, they know why. Only you seems not to know why. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes they ask you to come and lead prayer and they're no longer asking you to lead prayer. Maybe formally you are the choir director and then gradually you don't remove your name. And then you're no longer in charge of anything. And you're just coming and you're going. And then people start talking in groups about you. You have to be mentally ready for all of this stuff. So I get them ready for it. And then we now initiate the divorce. And then they meet a lawyer. And where we draft the divorce. Sometimes it's kind of like an agreed thing. That we both agree that we're getting divorced. Sometimes the man is requesting for divorce. The woman is saying, no, I don't want it. So the man will actually force his way out of the home by giving the lawyer a wrong address where they serve the woman. At the moment they serve you 3 times, I didn't respond. We can divorce you guys in a all right, so the divorce, then the woman will only see the letter, the right address after the divorce is gone through. And that's when the man is totally free. And with that, then bitterness is going to be there. That's why I always tell people, don't divorce like that. Let's sit down together on the same table. Let us think about it together. Let's think about the betterment of the family, the children together. We can't work together as families. Let's go in each other's ways. And then still be able to take care of our kids together and stuff. And then we call the kids and we let the kids know this is what's going on. It's not the end of life, it's just the beginning. Daddy and mommy can't work together, but life's different. So we now put it together like that so there won't be bitterness eventually. And some women, I always tell them, don't be following the Instagram of your ex-husband. Don't follow the Instagram of your ex-wife. The reason is that they will always do things because they know that you are following. Intentionally, they want to look for one nice tall guy with 6 pack. You take picture with that guy. And then they will put it on social media and say, see my bobo. And then you, where you go, see you, they feel angry. Angry and pissed off.
You look for fine baby.
And it's intentional. Now, when you now look for who is fooling who? You're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
And by the time you're doing that, you're wasting the time.
The best thing for you to do is just to close the.
Yeah, the time you're supposed to spend making money, you're not wasting it looking for people.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? So you're supposed to disconnect from them. Don't follow their Instagram. Sometimes the man will buy a nice car, will showcase. Then they get a good girlfriend. They celebrate their birthday for the girlfriend that they didn't do for the first one. And all kinds of so the women will follow and then they get depressed, and some of them will commit suicide. It happens to men. Men will commit suicide because they left the woman, and then the woman was so lucky to find a better man, so they kill themselves. In that. But when we come to that issue of let us have understanding, the wife is going to actually date another person.
Sure. Yeah.
So we let them know. Say, listen, the wife will date another person, the husband will date another person. That's not going to be your own cup of tea after that. That's their own cup of tea. So you move on and move on. You don't have any right to go and visit that girl and beat her up that she took your man. This divorce thing, the moment you sign it, his life belongs to you. And your life belongs to you. So that's what we do after. And Christianity allows it. People don't know that it is biblical to divorce. Malachi chapter 2, verse 16 was talking about God hates divorce. But now, at the end of it all, he now said, men, please don't cheat. So the moment you cheat, you're now being categorized as an unbeliever. And that's why the book of Matthew now said, if there is sexual immorality, divorce is allowed. Now, when you now go to the book of 1 Corinthians, Peter was now saying, Paul was now saying that if you marry an unbeliever and the unbeliever is willing to go, he said, let him go. You are not down. So who's an unbeliever? Anybody who is cheating, anybody who is lying, anybody who is abusive is an unbeliever. So they categorize them as an unbeliever. And if you do all those things, you want to go, let the woman release you, let the man release you. You go your way, I go my way, you can get married the second day. The people that are not allowed to get married is that if the two of them are born again, if the two of them are born again, they didn't cheat on each other, they didn't do anything, they didn't, but it's just that the marriage is not working. And then we have initiated separation for what? And she's gone, he's gone. And we still found out that they're still not going to work together. We can actually let them divorce, but when they divorce, they must not get married until one of them will die. So the moment one of them dies, that's when the covenant is broken.
Wow.
And the other one cannot go into another relationship.
Somebody said, Pastor
Hey.
Shola, Pastor Shola, we need more programs for a lot of our women, a lot of our men, enough of programs for women. A lot of women are too matured for the men.
The problem we have is this. I was at Indianapolis recently, and as I was teaching, the men started getting up and they're walking outside. So am I going to put a rope on their neck and tie them down? I can't. Until men are willing to sit under a leadership, inside a leadership class, to learn. Nobody, we are all learning day by day by day. All right, you may believe you know how to hold a woman down, you might not know how to. All right, so when you are actually in a class, leadership class, you will know what you know, you will see what you know, and then you see what you do not know. Whatever you know, you'll be able to raise up your hand and say, yeah, that one is working. And whichever ones you don't know, you say, I don't know this one, but I'm willing to learn those stuff. So the willingness to learn is what is missing. And people believe that I'm making the man to be the slave of women. And that's not the case. I'm actually trying to buy life for men so that they can sit down and watch TV when they want to watch TV. That's what I'm trying to create for men. I'm not trying to make them to be the CC. I'm trying to make them to be able to eat their meal on time, in peace, watch TV, and peace. That's what I'm doing. And I believe, Mr. Balo, you believe.
No, I just agree with you. 40%.
No, thank you.
So thank you very
It's
much.
fine. Well, thank you so much,
I was
everybody.
expecting you to attack me.
Don't worry.
Alright.
This is day one.
Okay.
When we come back, I'm coming ready. This time around, when we fight like back to back. You say one, I give you
No,
back.
I'm ready for you. I'm always ready for you.
No problem. Well, it's been a great session. It's been amazing
No,
to learn.
he has something to say. Please. Don't leave that.
No, the problem of the men while they were living the stuff is like some of our men, they don't want to, it's like when you say if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. So they don't want to hear the truth, and they don't want to look at it on the other side. Or rather, don't have the kitchen.
Yeah,
And they are so like into their own thing. Like
That's what we talk.
what is this man is talking? He's talking weak. Men supposed to be this, and pastor is telling them another thing, and they will feel like you are giving the woman too much power over there. That's the way I will tell you, pastor. That's the way men think. At first, when you drop it on men, because you are the one teaching now, we're the one that is receiving. When you drop it, boom, you'll be like, what is that? So, hey, it's for us to process it. And when we process it, some cannot just process it. When they cannot process it, they are not there yet. They can't process it. They rebel, and and it's just the same thing when you are in a relationship with your wife or whatever. It depends the way we communicate. If you like all the time, that person will rebel. So that's.
Let Mr. Balu go and read about servant leadership. Servant leaders. The servant leader is a person who is leading, but yet the servant of everybody. So when you're leading and you're the servant of everybody, you're more or less like a practical leader. You're not just instructing, you're doing it. So when you do it, the woman will follow you.
The one that is willing to follow.
Everyone of them are
You
willing.
know what? We're going to rest this case for another day. We're going to stay here all day. So let's just wrap this up. But it's been great. It's been great having this session. And I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it because the comments have been going back to back. But for the rest of the questions, I think we'll address them another day. And there were some topics that came up while having this discussion that we'll move for another day. But like I said, thank you so much. Someone said we need more classes like you.
Really?
Well, yeah, so
You're about to kill me.
don't worry, we're all here. Anyway, it's been great. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great week, and thank you so much, our panel.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank
you.
you.
You have a great week.